like he doesn't mind it, so, but still. I know you have. I know everybody has. I'm just not going to do that. All right, getting ready to turn off the microphones. Hush. And a very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. I am Todd Duke, and we're getting you ready for a double dose of some Kahok boys soccer on this late afternoon, heading into early evening. And as you can tell by looking at the camera or through the camera, it's remained gray and cloudy and cold here, just like it was the last time we were here on Saturday. It's kind of been that way for a few days. After a good 10 days of nothing but sunshine and temperatures above normal, we have been socked into this wet, cold, and gray kind of an atmosphere over the last 5 days or so, and it looks like it's going to continue over the next 2 days. Lots of rain moving in Wednesday and Thursday, and maybe a little bit of a break on Friday before we start football. And then we're back here Saturday for another double dose of soccer action on Saturday, so hopefully by Friday and Saturday things will be cleared out. Luckily for me, I am working over in the gym tomorrow doing girls volleyball home opener, so I'll be inside while apparently it's going to be raining outside. At any rate, let's get you set up for what's going on here today. This is Collinsville, their second home game, and they are hosting O'Fallon, JV team first, and then after that, the varsity club will take to the pitch, and we'll get that game going with the Chiropractic Works pregame show right after this one ends. The freshman team lost here to O'Fallon earlier, 2-1, and now we're getting ready for JV action, and joining me on the other microphone is Mr. Brett Burm, the 1993 graduate of Collinsville High School, 92 state champion goalkeeper for Collinsville Kahawk Soccer. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Todd. How are you today?
Not too bad. You were at the JV game last night, so tell us a little bit about that 2-0 win.
Wow, that was quite the game, Todd. Conditions were not great for our boys in purple and white. It was a sloppy mud fest, to say the least. And as Forrest Gump would say, at one point during the varsity match, rain was coming in sideways.
Yeah, there you go. It was not pretty out yesterday.
Not at all.
And I know they don't play at the high school, do they?
No, it was my understanding that
this was at Waterloo, by the way.
It was at Waterloo. It was my understanding that their turf field, which is apparently relatively new, had suffered some sort of flooding damage over the summer and still isn't open. So we played at a grade school that was more like a cow pasture.
Okay. All right, we are underway here. Collinsville is the home team. They are in purple. They do this backwards than a lot of schools or a lot of sports do, where the home team wears the white colors or the light colors, but not so in soccer. We have dark purple for Collinsville. Numbers are in white, and O'Fallon, they have the white uniforms on, and their numbers are in royal blue. I tried to match the royal blue on the scoreboard, but I couldn't get it any darker than that without turning it black. So they do not provide us starters for the JV game up here in the booth, so we do not come on early to announce starters because we don't know them until they get out there. And instead of me sitting here trying to count 11 people, we'll just let them get going, and then we'll catch up as we go along here. As we move along, that is Colin Ogle over there on the far side, who takes it over to the sideline for yet another teammate, and Justin Hammond gets in on the action. Collinsville will be attacking the goal to your left to start off with. And in goal, they have Zaire Medina, the sophomore goalkeeper who got the first start at Edwardsville 1 week ago today, as a matter of fact. So Collinsville, the JV team, just like the varsity team, they are 2-1. Both teams lost in Edwardsville. Both teams won here against Belleville West on Tuesday night. And here we are. Well, they won last night, too, at Waterloo. And here we are in game number 4 of the season. O'Fallon throws the ball in. And that is Calvin Keller, number 3 over there. He is a junior for O'Fallon, and they're trying to scatter that ball away. I might have made a mistake. Collinsville will be attacking the goal to our right. That is Zaire Medina in goal to your left, and Medina has to come out and scoop one up because hot on that ball was Carter Brouchard, a sophomore forward for O'Fallon, and he was getting in close. Medina kicks the ball out to midfield. We don't have as much of a wind as we did Saturday when we were here, but it's still pretty stiff coming out of the north once again. That's why we're so cold. This wind keeps on coming out of the north. Colin Ogle trying to fight off an attack over there from junior forward Jake Schildknecht. I know I butchered that name, so I apologize if the family of young Jake are listening and watching.
Coach Hayes coming out with a different look in the backfield. Gavin Chrisman typically starting with Borum as a center back, and Colin Ogle is there this evening.
Corner kick by O'Fallon. Early on in the game, we get a corner kick. I don't think we got one until late in the second half on that game we did Saturday, did we?
No, you're right.
So O'Fallon, dangerous here early on. There's one that's going to go over everything, and including the crossbar of the football goalpost. So Medina will have a goal kick restart here.
This O'Fallon team is coming out with a lot of pressure in the beginning. They had a very strong team last year as freshmen, so I'm going to anticipate that they're probably a pretty strong team that's going to put a lot of pressure on the Kahawks today.
One thing I forgot to do was start the clock. All right, now we're set. Clock up and running. Everybody's staring at the clock, watching at home, going, what's the clock up there for if he's not going to work it? You know, it's we're just getting used to starting hockey too, man. I've got to get out of basketball mode. I don't have to worry about a clock in basketball. They do it for me. O'Fallon still on the attack, and a nice play over there once again by Colin Ogle to send that ball across the sideline and out of bounds while O'Fallon was coming in off of that deep right wing over there for another attack. And so far, the field has been slanted. All the plays taking place down here.
I'm seeing a lot of speed from this O'Fallon team, especially on the outside wings thus far. Putting a lot of pressure on these Kahok defenders.
All the way out front it comes, and off of the head of one of these Kahawk players and onto the foot of Kevin Figueroa. And then O'Fallon backs up, and their defenders don't have to back up very far, not even to midfield before they start another attack. Here is Tyler Howe. Howe all the way back to midfield, however, and taking care of that is Ian Schilling. All the way over on the far side it goes. O'Fallon still trying to work it up into the offensive zone. Collinsville intercepts, and Collinsville trying to get some offensive zone pressure themselves right now. Everything is taking place on the left side of the field and continues to do so. On the far side, a ball brought up by the defenders, and once again it is Calvin Keller who's in on the action for O'Fallon trying to do some damage. Collinsville intercepts, and they bring it up the far sideline, but it's intercepted by the defenseman Evan Weber. And then at midfield, play takes place for a while until O'Fallon breaks out on the offense once again. Turning the corner over there on that far wing is Schildknecht. That's what I'm going to say. I don't even know. Schildknecht.
I think you've got it right. I think it's Schildknecht. And
Schildknecht.
I think there is a funeral home that is in O'Fallon named Schildknecht Funeral Home.
Okay. Schildknecht it is. The K is silent.
I think we got a PK here.
We do, it looks like.
There's a foul in the box. Could not see who took down the O'Fallon forward, but we do have a PK.
And that was going to be taken by Schildknecht.
Thus far, Collinsville struggling to find their target forwards. A lot of passes are being broke up in the midfield. Our distribution out of the midfield isn't strong right now. We need to clean that up.
Jake Schildknecht, you ready to take this penalty shot here? Medina ready and just past his left arm and in for a goal. And that's the way this one gets going. First goal comes with 28:50 to play.
Collinsville needs to regroup, get their heads together, start communicating.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough start for the JVK Hawks.
Absolutely.
So Collinsville will take control of the ball here. And I guess that's Mr. Alcazar again. Number 9 on your program, number 2 on his jersey. And the ball out of bounds, last touched by O'Fallon, so Collinsville will get to keep it, and they'll throw it in here to the offensive zone, and this is going to be one of the first times Collinsville is going to have it in the offensive zone at the start of this game. As soon as Hugo Gonzalez can track it down and position himself over here for a throw-in. And he does, and it goes over to Justin Hammond. Hammond back over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a little side kick just up the sideline, and then trying to send it back to the midfielders was read by Kanik, but he mishit that one, and O'Fallon takes over again. O'Fallon already into the offensive zone. Collinsville pushes it back down, but that's going to be really no problem for, what's that number on his jersey, 29? I don't have a 29.
I can't see that far away, Todd.
It says 29. I got a goalie that has 0-0, and that's That's the only goalie I have listed on the JV team. So we're going to go with Rohan Jacob. How about that? If anybody wants to tell me I'm wrong, please do so on the old text meter. I got it on my phone, so if anybody wants to correct me on pronunciations or give me a hand with the goalkeeper for O'Fallon's JV team, I would be much appreciative. Coming up on 27 minutes left to play here in this first half. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon already. Collinsville trying to make some noise down here on defense. Been down here a couple of times, but cannot get any sustained pressure going on. Once again, Gonzalez throws the ball in. Once again, it's to Hammond. He goes all the way back to midfield for it, sends it back up. And over on the far side, that is Brandon Nygaard, who apparently had a goal in the JV game last night, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Brandon Nygaard did have a goal. Nice feed from one of his teammates. Led him on a breakaway and poked one right past the goalkeeper.
Good job. He's a big kid.
He is a big kid.
So O'Fallon will throw it in at the end of their bench over there. And they do so right in front of the bench. So O'Fallon, once again, tries to work the ball up. Tic-tac-toe, they bring it up, and then Hammond intercepts over there on the far sideline. Circling around, trying to get it up the sideline, trying to find Aiden Kaufman, but that ball travels out of bounds, put there by the Panthers, so Collinsville will get the throw in, and it comes to Alcazar. Alcazar has a go off of his body and up the sideline, and O'Fallon moves it up back to midfield once again. 1-0 in favor of the Panthers. Should probably put that on the scoreboard, too. Hammond gets the inbound and takes it toward the middle and finds an open guy right there in the back of the defense, and that is Bycanic. Bycanic moves it up, but Gonzalez couldn't handle it. Goes right between his legs.
Again, another turnover right here at midfield that's going to get shoved right back into the Collinsville defense's face.
Evan Weber throws it in right off of the chest of Timmermeyer, and then back to the defense it goes, and the defense scrambles. Brady Holleran sends it back, and up the sideline it goes, and Collinsville finds an interception themselves over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez will send it up the sideline. Now it's a race for the ball, but O'Fallon's going to get there, and the ball's going to roll out of bounds before anyone can get there anyway. Throw in once again, coming in from Evan Weber, and Weber scoots it right up the line, and the defense for O'Fallon takes over. Collinsville intercepts. Here's Alcazar. Alcazar sends one toward the goal, and Jacob is right in the right spot and just scoops it up for the save.
I like that effort by Alcazar, finding a little bit of open space, trying to get a shot on goal and test the goalkeeper early. He hasn't been tested yet. Let's see what his hands are like.
When space is at a minimum down there in the offensive zone, if you've got a slimmer of an opening, go ahead and take it.
Absolutely.
Here's Nygaard. Nygaard chips the ball up on a nice pass to Hammond. Hammond trying to get around his player, and he's knocked off the ball. Hammond continues, a little tug, and Hammond centers it, and no one there, and the ball is, I guess they said it was out of bounds. Hammond may have struck that ball as it went over that yellow line.
It's a great effort by Justin getting around that left back. Played a nice ball through the middle. He must have just stepped out of bounds, or the ball.
Rohan Jacob ready to get things going here with a goal kick restart. Just a little under 24 minutes to go here in this first half. 1-0 in favor of the Panthers. Collinsville's offense coming alive here as of late. Hugo Gonzalez sends the ball over to the sideline before Drew Ferguson can catch up to it and continue that forward momentum into the offensive zone. Again, a throw in coming from Evan Weber. High and deep. Right back to where it came from. And another head by Alcazar. And Collinsville trying to get it out. And it ping-pongs off a couple of players. And then Ferguson steps up to try to put a shot on goal, but it ends up going all the way over on the far side. Didn't go out, though. So Collinsville had to stay on their feet and not give up chasing that ball down because O'Fallon sure did.
Cale Bauer with a nice defensive effort down there to not let the O'Fallon forward get across or service off.
1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. 1 minute and 10 seconds into this game, O'Fallon scores. And they are dangerous again. Collinsville got that ball out of there. Hugo Gonzalez finally got a nice little lane to open up and really send it upfield to get rid of that pressure, and O'Fallon was dangerous again. 22 and a half to go, and I'll bring the ball all the way back up. girls volleyball team starting their season today in East St. Louis. Of course, if we hear anything, we'll be sure to pass any information along to you. We'll have the home opener tomorrow against Alton Marquette. Here's Alcazar. Alcazar loses his spot, and Jack Treadway, the opposing number 2, takes over. Another ball in the box, and Collinsville trying to track it down. Colin Ogle does so and kicks it out of bounds. And tell you what there, Mr. Barm, it seems like that Collinsville is sending a lot of balls to the sideline just trying to relieve pressure.
Absolutely. Mr. Ogle, nice defensive effort there, shielding the ball, keeping that O'Fallon forward at bay, just playing the ball out of bounds. He didn't have another option.
Ethan Hendrickson for O'Fallon throws it in, and he throws it into the box, and it comes ping-ponging off a couple of body parts down there, and then Collinsville gets a hold of it, sends it back up halfway to midfield, and now a loose ball. Collinsville couldn't get it away. A double team couldn't get it away, and now it comes in the box, and Medina raises his hand and says, I got this one, and scoops it up before anyone can get there.
Medina did not play yesterday in the JV game. Kai Serrano, I guess, got the start and played the entire game.
Yeah, he played the Saturday game, too. Collinsville looking for a little bit of offense, and here is Andrew Chai. Chai, I got the football roster today. He's the place kicker once again for the Collinsville varsity Kahok team, provided, I guess, that his team doesn't have a soccer game that night.
Right.
O'Fallon helps Collinsville out by pushing it into the Kahok offensive zone, but the defense takes care of it. They send it back to Jacob, and Jacob sends it all the way back out to midfield. Nice header by Colin Ogle to send it on up, and Figueroa trying to wrestle it away over there, but a nice sliding tackle by one of the O'Fallon players keeps that from happening, and now O'Fallon, they're relentless on the ball once again. Here is Logan Wagner. Wagner scoots it up the sideline for Treadway. Treadway, he centers it, and off of the foot of Sanchez, and right to Medina, and again, O'Fallon comes down dangerous. Here's Chai. Chai sends it up past one defender or a midfielder and onto a defender's foot, and that defender, Evan Weber, sends it all the way over onto the far side sideline. Collinsville picks it off. Nice interception over there by Benny Peck. And then the Kahawks bring it on up until Hammond is tripped up. No call on the play, though. And then O'Fallon, and they turn around and send it right back into their offensive zone. Collinsville, nice play there by Braden Borm to get that ball across that far side sideline, because it was pretty much a 2-on-3 situation there for O'Fallon.
Andrew Chai was looking for an outlet ball here on this right sideline, looking for a forward to check over, and our forwards aren't making those diagonal runs to receive those balls that these midfielders are trying to play to them.
Figueroa tried to use his head to deaden the ball toward his feet, but it had too much bounce on it, and he bounces it right to an O'Fallon player. Collinsville trying to get it out of there, and Alcazar, he's doing everything but that, and he's had some stiff competition. I think he was about triple teamed on that little play there, but O'Fallon, they come away with the ball again, and from midfield, they send it up, far side sideline. Sent up along the way, and Timmermeyer with it all the way over to Medina. Medina falls on it, and Collinsville avoids any further offensive push here by O'Fallon. 18:50 left to play here in this first half. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. Ball popped up at midfield. There is Figueroa. Figueroa sends it up trying to find Chai, but Chai wasn't breaking when Figueroa was thinking about passing, and Chai had to catch up and just couldn't get there in time. Now Collinsville pops it back up toward midfield. Hugo Gonzalez again, and Figueroa better be careful or he'll knock down the probably much smaller Carson Howe. Now a ball comes up here on this near side sideline. Drew Ferguson chases it down for O'Fallon. Feeds it up into the outside part of the box to Sanchez, and then that ball gets knocked across the line. Collinsville will have a goal kick restart.
Looks like we've got some subs coming in. Gavin Chrisman.
Not an extra one. No, a varsity roster I do, yeah. I got everything I need. Yeah.
Gavin Chrisman entering the game. Moves to center back, moving Mr. Ogle to left back.
Yeah, they sent me that O'Fallon roster on my email today, and I printed it out, and the Panther logo was so dark that I couldn't see the names. So I went on the old STL site and just printed off their roster. I checked to make sure that everything kind of matched and what I could read did, so I went with that one. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad Clay was concerned. I like it when Clay's thinking about me up here in the box, and he's doing his thing. Great athletic director.
Yes, he is.
Coming up on 17 minutes left to play here in this first half, and O'Fallon has the 1-0 lead, and they've controlled most of the offensive play in this game. Collinsville gets a free kick from way deep down in their defensive zone, but they'll come away with it right toward midfield and try to get that offense working here. Nice moves over there by Kaufman, and Collinsville continues. Bringing it up the middle. Kaufman once again gets a feed from his teammate, and then it's picked up by the O'Fallon defense and knocked out of bounds just past the outstretched leg of Benny Peck. If Peck could have got a hold of that, we could have continued that offensive push.
O'Fallon's doing a really nice job of making the field small in the backfield, shrinking the field, giving Collinsville no room to work or connect passes as they try to penetrate.
That ball comes in right off of a Collinsville body and straight out of bounds, so Kahok's turned the ball over again in the offensive zone. And O'Fallon, with their 1-0 lead, will go back to work. It will be Evan Weber once again, the sophomore defenseman for the Panthers, to throw the ball in. Throws it up that far sideline right in front of the O'Fallon bench, and O'Fallon trying to keep it in. Colin Ogle collects the ball before it has a chance to go out of bounds, and then off of an O'Fallon player, and Collinsville will now take over in midfield. Have to go all the way back to the maintenance shed to get that ball. Collinsville throws it in. It's a bouncing ball that got thrown in straight down to the ground almost. Trying to fight it off over there was Benny Peck, and he finally comes away with it, and still now trying to gather it up on that sideline, and a whistle on the play. Is we're going to have substitutions? No?
Heard a whistle.
I did too. All right, ball gets thrown all the way down, and with it is Braden Borm, and Borm brings it over here to this side, and it's not going to make it all the way over to Andrew Chai like Collinsville was hoping. Went past a couple of players, but
I think we got a handball.
Is that the call?
I think.
Okay. And now it'll be O'Fallon's turn with the free kick here. This one's going to be from about 50 yards away. And it'll be Ethan Hendrickson, the sophomore defenseman for O'Fallon, taking this kick. High. And that's a good
job, ball.
Yeah, good strike on that ball. And then O'Fallon tries to keep it going forward, but instead they send it to the far sideline. Collinsville trying to wrestle it away over there, but Schildeneck having no part of that, and then a shot on toward goal, and that's rejected. Collinsville trying to work it back up and seeing if they can get maybe a breakaway here, but I'll tell you what, Figueroa is all back at midfield by himself. He's got 3 defenders back there with him. There's a shot, and Medina has to slide over to his right to scoop up that save.
Medina making a nice kick save down there in the on that last sequence, almost looking like a little Slobo Ilievsky save back in the Steamer days.
At midfield. Into the offensive zone. O'Fallon trying to add to their 1-0 lead. Collinsville working real hard trying to not let that happen. That ping pongs off a couple of shins, and luckily for the Kahawks, it went right to Medina. Medina sends it all the way back out to midfield, has the wind behind his back, what wind there is. And the ball comes down in the circle. Here is Andrew Chai. Chai got taken off of that ball, but sends it back to his defense, and I don't believe Gonzalez is going to get there in time, and he won't. I have a injured O'Fallon player grabbing at that lower right leg. I don't know if that's a shin or a calf. Seems to be a shin.
Or a knee.
Or that too. All right, now we have timeout on the field, so we will use that opportunity to take a commercial break, and we'll be back in just a moment on the Kahok Sports Network.
Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by. See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place world champion Patriot sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com. Ogle Auctions in Collinsville, the newest in online auctioning. Go to ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's HIBid.com to check out what's up for bid in the next auction. Ogle Auctions deals with everyday items like board games, t-shirts, and more, to collectibles, whether that is a vehicle, vinyl records, or vintage toys. Or how about a trolley car? And Ogle Auctions is always on the lookout for more items. Check out their next online auction at ogleauctionshighbid.com. That's ogleauctionshibid.com. Or call Kim Ogle today at 618-980-4530.
Back here live at Kahok Stadium. Todd Duke and Brett Borum with you. Juan Berrigan was the injured player for the O'Fallon Panthers, but he walked off under his own power, so he seemed to be okay, whatever that right leg problem was. It got a little bit better. Collinsville had a little bit of an offensive push while we were at commercial break, but O'Fallon squandered that opportunity away. And now the Panthers are on the move once again, already leading 1-0. Ball popped up. Trying to chase it down is Andrew Chai. And did the referee change his mind on whose ball?
He's calling purple.
Yeah, he pointed the other direction at first. So Chai throws it in. Does so to Hammond. Back to Chai. Chai trying to chip it back to Hammond, but Hammond already vacated his spot. And that ball is picked up by O'Fallon, and the defense will just send it on back, and it'll be taken by Jacob. And he'll send it over here quickly to Weber. Now on this near sideline for Halloran. It's about time they got some play over here. Everything's been taking place on the far side here so far. Brouchard, and Medina sends it all the way back out to midfield.
Looks like Jalen Wade has entered the game for the Kahawks, playing a left wing. Jalen has some speed up top that should hopefully be able to stretch the O'Fallon defense. Jalen's a pretty quick guy.
Blake Tanner out there as well for the first time in this game, and here comes O'Fallon once again. They've got numbers heading upfield, and that was a nice defensive play over there. Couldn't tell who that was, but now off of the head of Gonzalez, and I believe that was Colin Ogle. Comes down, Gonzalez sends it back up again. Andrew Chai broke a little late, and trying to come into the middle there was Benny Peck. And O'Fallon sends it right back up to that far sideline. Skips off of the foot of Schildeneck and out of bounds, Collinsville's ball. Far sideline is where everything's going. Just under 9 minutes to go here in this first half. Back over toward the middle of the field, that is Brouchard. Brouchard trying to work around. Nice job on the defense over there, and then that defender gets taken down and a shot right to Medina. Nice plays over there by Gavin Knoll. Knoll stuck with that all the way.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Gavin was giving him some fits.
Gavin Knoll, midfielder, not a defender, excuse me. Medina sends it all the way back and all the way off the back of an O'Fallon player. That ball gets past the O'Fallon defense, but chasing it down is Evan Weber. And then he didn't get it up and off of Chai's knee, and then out of bounds off of the foot of Brady Halloran. So Collinsville gets a throw in here, and they do so on a nice job, and they had a wide open guy and a little chip shot right into the box taken there by Aiden Kaufman. And Hugo Gonzalez, or excuse me, Gavin Knoll had the first opportunity but couldn't settle the ball down. Jacob sends it all the way back out to midfield. And Hugo Gonzalez accidentally tripped up his guy. No call on the play. Now Knoll trying to poke the ball away once again. Hammond gets it between the legs of one of the defenders and then tries to work the ball up to Peck, but that just missed Peck, and now Peck tried to throw it over here to this near sideline. But you know what? Andrew Chai was standing right next to him, and There wasn't anybody else over here, so I don't know if he thought Chai was farther away, but it goes right between Chai's legs and out of bounds.
Benny Peck played probably a lot of minutes in that freshman game. Wondering if his legs might be a little tired.
Ball being chased down by Braden Borm, and Borm gets it across the sideline, or the inline, excuse me, off of the O'Fallon player. And it'll be a free kick here.
Yes, looks that way.
Yeah. Looks like they called a penalty right on the edge of the box there, but that's a long way to go. Borm puts that right leg into it, sends it out to midfield. Off of a body part belonging to O'Fallon, sent backwards, and now back out to midfield we go. Carson Howe trying to settle the ball down, and he just pokes it out of bounds. What?
Not sure what he saw on that one.
Say that went off a Chai?
Yep.
Man, that was a pass to a O'Fallon teammate, and it rolled out of bounds. That's what I saw.
That's the way it looked to me, too.
Yeah. At any rate, Collinsville gets the ball back, and they'll get to throw it in as Collinsville brings on a replacement.
Is this by Kahok?
Out goes Aiden Kaufman, and in comes Reed by Kahok. You are correct, sir. Gonzalez off of his head. Works the ball up off of the knee of Benny Peck, and the ball finds Peck once again. Peck is going to try to find Chai, but Chai not going to be able to catch up to that before it's poked out over to Weber, and Jacob sends it all the way back out to midfield. Collinsville off of the forehead, accidentally, although it may be, of Blake Tanner. We'll take it as it sends it back up into the offensive zone. Collinsville trying to keep it there. Haven't put on a lot of offensive pressure here in this first half, but they're getting a little better at tilting the field back in that direction compared to the first 5 minutes of the game.
Well, Fallon looks like they're doing almost a wholesale change. Looks like 6 or 7 subs coming in at one time.
Yeah. Wholesale player change. Coming up on 5 minutes to go here in this first half. Hopefully Coach Hayes and his boys can make some adjustments at halftime and come back and get the equalizer, or maybe in the last 5 minutes of this first half they can get the equalizer.
That would be nice. It's kind of the way the game went last night for varsity. Collinsville was down 1-0 throughout the game until about the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I saw they scored both of their goals in the second half.
Yep.
That ball was off of the head over there of Donovan DeWeese. And that went off of his head and went a long way. All the way over on the far sideline. O'Fallon has another throw in, and trotting over there is Evan Weber. Weber will throw it in just outside of the 18-yard box, and he throws a good one right in the middle. And Hugo Gonzalez gets that thing out of there with a nice header. And now the ball on the ground and partially blocked by Colin Ogle, and that ball will go across the end line, and we're going to have a corner kick by O'Fallon. Their second corner kick of this game. Collinsville has yet to have one.
It's a long throw by that O'Fallon.
Sure was.
Forward. Looked like Jackson Perrell.
Corner kick coming up here for O'Fallon, and right in the middle once again, Medina tips it out with his fingertips, and then O'Fallon finds it, and Collinsville on a nice defensive play there by Brett Borm gets that ball out of there before O'Fallon could capitalize.
It's a nice save by Medina, coming out, getting what he can on the ball, enough to tip it away, get it out of danger.
Yeah, Borm was in the right place at the right time, too, because that one was headed right for an open goal because Medina was over here by the far post, or the near post. That ball rolls down the back of Gavin Chrisman, and now Chrisman sends it over here for Hamann. Hamann working up that right side of the field, sends it up to the middle where it's blocked out, and that's a shame, too, because Collinsville had some numbers going backwards. And
Hamann had the right idea. He just couldn't connect there. I know he was aiming for Jalen Wade out on that left flank.
Out of bounds off of the foot of Hugo Gonzalez, and it'll be Seth Sanchez. With nope, they're going to give it up, and once again it'll be Evan Weber. Why not? He almost threw it into the goal from over there on that far sideline. He could probably throw it in from here. It heads toward the middle once again, and Collinsville uses a couple of bodies to block that out, and then Benny Peck couldn't stop that ball from rolling, and O'Fallon picks it up at midfield once again. Sent up, and a nice spin move there by Jack Treadway for O'Fallon. Keeps the ball in the possession of the Panthers, and then sent back up by Weber, and it rolls all the way to Medina, and Medina will scoop it up with about 2:20 left to play here in this first half, and Medina sends the ball all the way back out to midfield off the bottom of the foot there of Benny Peck. Back in the day when you guys all wore cleats, that would have popped the ball.
Yeah. Back in the day when we wore screw-ins.
Yeah. Gavin Knoll sends the ball over on the sideline, and a O'Fallon foul over there will give Collinsville a free kick. Long way to go, over 100 yards and 2 minutes left here in this first half. Collinsville looking for another offensive push before they go gather around for the halftime pep talk. Over to Gonzalez it goes. Gonzalez chases it down over here and tries to send it up and lifted a little bit too far left for Chai as he was skirting up the sideline of the football field, and the ball traveled the opposite direction. Jacob gets a foot on it and hits it and goes all the way over onto the far side for another whistle and out of bounds.
Hugo Gonzalez had a chance here on this right side. A lot of space in front of him in real estate, and he decided to try and force the pass when he didn't need to. I'd like to see him take that space, draw the defender, and then distribute.
Here is Hammond, and we have some offside, just as Blake Tanner was coming in over that left wing. Under a minute to play here in this first half. Donovan DeWeese sends the ball in, and it'll be taken up by Ian Schilling. Back over to DeWeese, and DeWeese moves it up the far sideline and moves it up even farther with a kick. Collinsville handles that, puts it right down in midfield. That was a nice header there. And up to Hammond. Collinsville trying one last time. Here is another offside. Wow. That must have not been by much.
Didn't look like it was by much. We got to make sure we're checking our shoulders, know where that last line is, where that last defender is. Make sure we're staying on as the ball's being played.
Final 20 seconds left to go here in this first half. O'Fallon. That's the referee making him move the ball up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that'll waste about half of that 20 seconds. Down to 10. Sent into the Collinsville defensive zone, and back out to midfield it goes, and that'll pretty much do it for the first half of action here at Collinsville High School. 1-0 after one half of play, and 1-0 off of a penalty kick goal by Jake Schildeneck, and that's pretty much all she wrote right now. So that's the way that this first half comes to a close, and we'll take a little bit of a break here and come back with second half action, and that'll be in moments here on the Kahok Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Just because you can cut your own hair doesn't mean you should. The Shop, a great place in Collinsville for men and boys haircuts, is where you should take your hair. The Shop is owned and operated by Collinsville High School graduates Danny Kress and Jody Neiman, and is located at 103 South Seminary Street in Uptown Collinsville. The Shop isn't just another place to get a haircut, as Danny and Jody take great joy in getting to know their clients and look forward to turning those clients into friends. When you sit in a stylish chair at the Shop, Jody and Danny pride themselves on getting to know you well enough to say, the usual? So, men and boys, if you're tired of the same old cookie-cutter approach to haircuts, check out Danny and Jody at the Shop. You may just walk out with not only a fantastic cut, but you may also walk out with a friend. Or two. The Shop in Collinsville, 618-772-7175. No appointment necessary. The Shop, 103 South Seminary in Uptown Collinsville.
Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite. Pack Mail of Collinsville. Locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Todd Duke, Brett Bourne back with you from Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. First half in the books. Kahawks trail 1-0 on a penalty kick goal by Jake Schildknecht for O'Fallon, and that's where we stand after one half of play. We'll switch ends of the field, and young Mr. Zaire Medina will now occupy the goal to your right, while Rohan Jacob occupies the goal to your left. Well, Mr. Bourne, I think Collinsville figured out some things offensively as the first half went along, but just could never really connect to get any sustained pressure.
There's some personnel changes made about halfway through that half that seemed to generate a little bit more offense for the Kahawks. Again, struggling to possess, struggling to find the target forwards, at least their feet or even into space. O'Fallon did a great job of making that field small and condensed and not giving Kahawks much room to work.
Jacob receives the ball from Donovan DeWeese, who we saw from afar. And now that we've switched into the fields, the guys that were playing primarily over on the far sideline will now be over here on the near side. And O'Fallon again with the ball, and they're looking for some more offensive pressure. They throw the ball in, and Calvin Keller, tries to track the ball down. Collinsville's defense sends it back to where it came from, and then O'Fallon trying to keep the ball alive. Can't do it. Collinsville gets a hold of it, and here is Hammond. Hammond works the ball up and tries to thread a little bit of a pass over there for Brandon Nygaard, but that ball just missed him, and Collinsville will have to go back on defense once again. You know, as I go along here in the soccer season, I'll promise I'll try to remember to start this clock.
Looks like we're going to have a corner kick here for the Panthers.
Well, they've already had a couple of those.
Yep. Ball was deflected off Borum's head, going out of bounds on our end line, resulting in the corner for O'Fallon.
Matthew Culp will take this corner kick for the Panthers. Again, all the way over on the far side. It's on the way, and that one's going to fall right into the middle off of the head of one of the O'Fallon players in the opposite direction from which they wanted to go. And then a shot by O'Fallon on a loose ball that was bouncing around, and Medina had plenty of time to react and head over to that far post and pick it up. So the Kahawks trying to get the offensive mojo working here. Medina sends it all the way back out to midfield, and trying to stop it was Blake Tanner. Tanner gets the ball and splits the defense, and then has one defender riding his back all the way over onto the other side. Ball put into the box and scooped up by Jacob before anyone wearing the purple and the white could get over there to apply more pressure. But Collinsville sends it right back to the offensive zone. But now O'Fallon takes over, and they bring it upfield. Off of the back over there of Gonzalez, and now a loose ball picked up by O'Fallon. And here is Deweese. Deweese sends the ball up into the middle, and boy, I tell you what, Keller had that one go off of his ankles. If he could have caught that in stride, he would have been wide open coming up the middle.
Yep, he was going to be on his way to a breakaway.
He sure was. Here is Hammond, who gets taken down in the middle of the field, and that ball is called, and Collinsville will get a free kick from midfield. Kahawks looking for a little offensive push here. Braden Bourne gets the free kick right on the edge of the big C around the Kahawk Indian head at midfield.
Not enough bodies in there to try and fish that ball out.
Yeah, that was rejected by the one guy that the ball found. And right off of the head, and here comes Mr. Keller again. Keller threads the ball up, and we got another chance here for Schildeneck, and that one's going to go wide just as Medina was coming out.
Collinsville dodged a bullet on that one. Defensive breakdown in the middle of the field.
Here comes the fourth corner kick of the afternoon for O'Fallon. And this is the first one that's actually going to be on the near side of the field. And once again, it'll be Matthew Culp who will take this kick. See that corner flag down there, not moving too much. So not as much of a wind as we had on Saturday. This one's a line drive and off of one of the O'Fallon players' heads, and it goes toward the end line, but O'Fallon keeps the ball alive, comes out to Tyler Howe, and Howe.
There was a call somewhere. I would have liked to have seen Medina come out and own that 6-yard box. Come out and own it. Grab that ball out of the air.
So a infraction against O'Fallon of some sort. Didn't see that one happen. And Medina sends a low line drive. Won't quite make it out to midfield, but trying to collect it is read by Kanik. And then over on the far side, Gonzalez will pop the ball up.
That's a good ball.
That is a good ball. And Tanner tries to jump over a defender, and he's taken down. No call on that play. There should not have been a call on that play. That was a nice play by Schilling to come in there and get that ball out of the way. And Blake Tanner just kind of tripped over his legs while he was already laying on the ground. So Collinsville will try it again. Trying to chase that ball down and is not successful as Kevin Figueroa. And it'll be O'Fallon's ball. Throw in coming right below our location, a little offset left. And Evan Weber once again will take the throw all the way down toward past midfield. And then Keller again comes up with it, pops the ball up. He is trying to find his teammate Bouchard over there, and now it's heading toward Bouchard, but Gonzalez gets the ball out of there, trying to track it down as Nygaard. Nygaard over there in that midcourt or midfield circle loses control of it, or never got control of it. Deweese sends the ball up to Howe, and Howe cuts in toward the middle, splits the defense with a nice
body,
pass.
Hammond.
And then Hammond comes in there and takes it, and Collinsville trying to work the ball upfield. Here we go. Nope. That one didn't work. I thought Colin Ogle had something going on there. Spin that ball right around Schildeneck, and it didn't happen. It had a spin on it, but it didn't go where he wanted it to.
We've got a little roster confusion here, Todd. Number 21 is Jalen Wade. I noticed on the roster we've been provided he's actually number 3, so I'm not sure what has happened here.
Okay. So we'll switch that one out. Yeah, because, Alcazar's number 9, but he's wearing number 2. I remembered that from Saturday, but I didn't remember Wade playing or switching up numbers or anything. So out of bounds in front of the O'Fallon bench. And once again, it'll be Weber. Kahawks find the ball. Send it up to midfield. Figueroa trying to chase it down, but Schilling will beat him to it. Now over to Deweese. Deweese gets it past Wade. And then a loose ball picked up by Hammond, and Hammond out to midfield. Figueroa got there in time to create a little bit of havoc, and Nygaard lets the ball go, and it's picked up by Kaufman. Kaufman gets the ball up to Bykanek. Bykanek, he'll send one screaming up the field off of one of the defenders there for Collinsville. For O'Fallon. Now over to Wade, and Nygaard tries to get in on the action. He can't slow the ball down enough. Defense pitches in a little bit. And over there on the far side sideline, Nygaard tries to wrestle it away, but couldn't come up with it. Just a few ticks under 28 minutes left to go here in the second half. Panthers lead on goal 1 minute and 10 seconds in by Jake Schildeneck.
I think you got it now.
I think so. Took me all year long to get Rabashitsky right over on the girls' basketball team. And then when I finally started getting comfortable with it, the season ended. Off of the head and out of bounds of Gavin Chrisman. Varsity game will be coming up after this. Of course, we will shut down the JV game and fire everything back up for the varsity action, complete with the pregame show. Throw in comes from the far side. It's high, it's deep, it's right in the middle, and it's popped up, and Collinsville having a hard time getting it out of there. It stays popped up, stays there. Now a group of players, that's always dangerous right there when there's so many legs it can bounce off of.
It's like a ping pong ball.
Yeah. It's like a puck going into the net in a hockey game that goes in off of somebody's calf.
Yep.
Just because they happen to be in the right place at the right time. Another throw in and another deep one. That one's knocked out of there by Collinsville, so a little bit of a better job on the reaction time. Figueroa tries to chase it down. Deweese gets there first. Figueroa with him every step of the way, trying to wrestle the ball away from Deweese, and now the ball ends up going out of bounds. Now it will belong to Collinsville, and we need to start doing something with it here.
I like the pressure by Figueroa here on this left side. Doing all he can to try and keep that ball in bounds and get down this far flank.
This will be the first game we've done with the time change, so it'll be nice not seeing it getting dark until after 7 o'clock instead of just after 6.
Well, you should have seen the field in Waterloo last night. I think they had 4 light stands, one in each corner, and the whole middle of the field was black.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you play at a grade school. Grade school kids don't usually play at night. Here comes Collinsville, trying to work the ball up. Hammond sends it up to Figueroa. Figueroa trying to get rid of Deweese on his back. Figueroa stays with it, trying to get help from Wade, but Deweese is relentless on defense, and he comes away with that ball. And then he sends it on up, and that's going to be dangerous. Can Medina get there first? He does. And Medina dives out to his left to pick up that loose ball before any damage could be done. Coming up on 25 minutes to play here in the second half. Remains 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. All the way back out to midfield it goes, off of the elbow of Figueroa. And now O'Fallon works the ball up again on the far side sideline. Nice job keeping that ball in bounds by Tyler Howe. And then O'Fallon tries to send it into the box, but Collinsville's defense holds tough.
Howe did a great job keeping that ball in bounds, skirting that sideline.
Sure was. You can barely see that thin yellow stripe from all the way over here, and you can see that ball was real close.
Mm-hmm.
Another throw-in coming from Evan Weber, and we already know that just like our guy Jackson Perrell, he can shove that ball in deep. Gets that running start. Just outside of
get to the ball.
The goal post area, and then that ball is sent across the end line, and it'll be a goal start re-kick here for Zaire Medina. Medina waits for everyone to get in position. sends the ball into the wind, and it bounces its way to midfield. Collinsville, they try to pick the ball up and bring it up. They do so. Pass over here from Kaufman to Bykanik, and now to Colin Ogle, racing in off the left wing, trying to get rid of his defender, and then Colin Ogle does a nice job staying in the game, but couldn't get the ball all the way past the defender. Kahok's putting on a little offensive pressure here, and then Wade gets in on the action, sends it all the way back out to midfield, and then O'Fallon, they'll muscle the ball all the way down, and it's a race, and Collinsville will get there first, and it'll be Braden Borm who will knock that ball out of bounds. That was probably the closest we came to some sustained offensive pressure all day long down there in that little 30-second spurt.
Yeah, I agree. Bykanik did a nice job in that last sequence.
Throw in again from Weber. Right into the middle, but a little bit outside the box this time. Collinsville comes away with it. They bring it up and trying to get around a defender. Nicely done there. And another nice move there by Collinsville and Alcazar. And then somehow or another, Alcazar loses control of the ball. Well, Fallon, they find it. And they send it up. Uh-oh. Here we go. Here is Timmermeyer. Timmermeyer centers it. Collinsville had a defender right there. Nice job by Hugo Gonzalez. And then, just for good measure, he kind of gives Hattrich a slug, a shove over there to get him off the ball.
Middle of the field is a little vacant as far as the midfield goes. I don't know if it's our backs that aren't getting back quick enough to help, but there's a lot of space between that first level and second level.
I tell you what, man, Evan Weber's arm's got to be getting tired. It's a lot of throw-ins for this kid. And he's still got the strength to put it up all the way into
it's got to be out.
The 8-yard box, and now a struggle for the ball again. Comes out, Wade trying to get it away, and Treadway trying to make sure that he doesn't, and another shot put toward the goal, and another nice tip.
Save by Medina.
That ball was heading toward the top shelf, and Medina timed that jump perfectly and got a finger on it to knock it over the net. It's going to be a corner kick coming up here for O'Fallon, but man, I'll take that any day.
Textbook goalkeeping by Medina. Parries that ball right over the top. Beautiful goalkeeping.
Another corner kick, the fifth one of the game here for O'Fallon. This one's going to be taken by Tyler Timmermeyer.
I like the animation that Medina is showing as well. A little bit of leadership, trying to get his backs in order.
That one stays low on the ground and kicked to the sideline by Colin Ogle. So a throw-in coming up here for Weber once again. But yeah, I saw the jockeying of position down there. It's one of the O'Fallon defenders got in front of Medina. He stepped in and went right in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
A little gamesmanship going on.
Goalkeepers have to know how to lead, direct their backs, get what they want out of them.
Another high, deep throw, and this one falls down, and a pop kick that goes out of bounds. Harmless play there. Collinsville avoids another offensive push by O'Fallon, and as we approach 20 minutes left to play here in the second half, Collinsville still looking for that equalizer. Looking a little better on offense, though.
A little bit.
Oh, did both balls end up down there?
I think so.
But Tina had to go
He's got them both.
collect both of them. And now he has the ball where he wants it. Lets everybody know that he's ready to go and sends it back out toward midfield. And it bounces its way toward midfield. Now over here to this near side sideline. Ferguson sends it up for Timmermeyer.
Nice job.
Timmermeyer, yeah, nice job on the block by Chrisman there to keep that ball from going to anybody wearing the white. Out of bounds. Collinsville will have a throw in deep into their own zone. Ogle throws it in. O'Fallon controls it. Sanchez on the sideline couldn't control it enough. It ends up going across the yellow line, and Colin Ogle will have yet another throw in. He tries to throw it deep down the line and trying to find Cale Bauer there, and now it's going to go back the other way. And once again, O'Fallon, yeah, about 5 players in, 5 players out for the O'Fallon Panthers. Both teams are behind their respective goals, getting their final warm-ups in for the varsity game. which comes your way about 20 minutes at the conclusion of this one. Thrown in by Weber once again. This one off of the head of Chrisman, but it comes down onto the foot of Schildeneck. And then Collinsville trying to track it down once again, but it's O'Fallon that almost comes away with another offensive opportunity. Now they do. That one's popped up and on top of the net. And Medina will pop that one off of the back of the net and go back to work with a goal kick restart. 18:20 left to play here in the second half. Trying to time that one perfectly was Reed by Canick, trying to get that one off of his head and roll down to his back to one of his teammates. But O'Fallon again comes away with it, and this is Ethan Hendrickson. Hendrickson moves the ball up onto the foot of Schildnick and picked off there. Colin Ogle comes up with it, sends it up to midfield. He was trying to find Bauer, but Bauer a little bit taken aback by his defender, and that ball goes nowhere.
Colin Ogle's having a nice game today thus far. He's been active during his time in, whether he was playing center back or as a wing back.
Fallon trying to track down a bouncing ball, and it's tracked down by Bouchard, and Gonzalez will take care of it. He'll send it over the line, and we'll have the 6th corner kick coming up here for O'Fallon. I could be number 7. I could be off by 1. Volleyball for you tomorrow. It's the girls' home opener against Alton Marquette. Thursday, we're taking the day off. This one comes all the way out the other side, and this time it's kicked out along the end line, or the sideline, excuse me, and that'll be just a goal kick restart here. Or is it O'Fallon's ball?
It's going to be O'Fallon's throw in by Canick. I'm not sure if he didn't know where he was in relation to the goal. He could have let that go out of bounds for the goal kick. Instead, he chose to clear it out.
Weber once again will throw it in. And it comes down in the front of the 18-yard box, settled down there by O'Fallon. Collinsville pokes it out, but not out far enough. And then a bouncing ball to Medina, and he'll scoop it up before Calvin Keller can get there to do any damage. So no games Thursday. The girls are going to be playing some volleyball in the gym against Edwardsville, but we needed a day off, so we picked that day to have the day off. Those 2 matches will still be live streamed using the Kahok Athletics YouTube page, so you won't be denied your live stream coverage. And then Friday we'll be in the big city of Troy for a little football battle between Triad and Collinsville in a very shortened 6-game regular season for football around here. And then we're back here on Saturday. Jabot is in town. That'll be 5 p.m. JV and a 6:30 varsity game. Wholesale player changes going on by both teams this go-around.
Benny Peck, Justin Hammond, and Gavin Knoll enter the game.
And the throw-in coming from Colin Ogle, and it skips right past the foot of Benny Peck. So O'Fallon brings it up on offense once again. Skirting the sideline, here is Schildeneck. Comes in and centers one from the right wing, but that goes all the way out the other side, and Andrew Chai will hold off his...
Good awareness to let that ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, made sure to hold off his opposing player to get there first. Now Collinsville comes away with the ball. They try to...
Turnover.
Yeah, they send it up here to Peck, but couldn't get enough on it. And then the ball ends up being shot toward the goal, but it goes wide. And Medina will have to run all the way over to All-Pro Tees to collect that ball.
Aiden Kaufman just didn't get enough pace on that ball as he was trying to distribute the ball out of the back to Hammond.
Yeah, trying to flick it over here to Benny Peck, and the flick just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And Medina, once again, comes back with
2
both
balls.
of them. See, normally there's a good selection of about 25 to 30 kids under the age of 10 that you can get out here to track balls down for you and hold on to one in case one goes out of bounds.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah. One of the many things that COVID has done, and unable to keep that ball in bounds was Schildeneck. And Colin Ogle will throw the ball back in for Collinsville.
I have fond memories of my days as a ball boy at the old football bowl on Vandalia Street.
Oh, yeah, I remember I had to use that tunnel to get from one side to the other side. I went to high school there, and that was a blast.
I did not go to high school there, just so you know.
Yeah, I did. I went to my freshman and my sophomore year there, and then they opened up this current campus, and I did my junior and senior year here. Here's Collinsville with a chance and a save by Jacob. It was a tough angle, and Jacob had that far post covered, and it came right to him. Nice try there by number 2, Javier Alcazar.
It was a great run down that right flank, and a nice service. He got off. Just nobody there to cash in.
Now coming up the left flank is going to be a whistle. I think that was outside the box. That's against. Was that against O'Fallon?
I think it's against O'Fallon.
Wow.
Going out.
Wow.
I'm not sure what the call was.
Neither am I. They were side by side with each other. I know there was probably some little elbow pushing going on, but I didn't think there's anything warranted a whistle.
In racing, they call that rubbing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Trading paint.
Trading paint.
I know a little bit about everything, but not a lot about anything. Jack of all trades, master of none. Collinsville at midfield, trying to come upfield and get that equalizer. Here is a chance for Benny Peck, but that ball had too much steam on it, and it rolls right past Peck and out of bounds, so O'Fallon will have a chance. 12.5 minutes to go, so plenty of time. Still 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. They scored 1 minute and 10 seconds into this contest, and Collinsville has gotten a couple of chances, but no real sustained pressure on offense still in this game, but they've had offensive spurts, I guess you could say.
Little spurts. Not sure we've had a legitimate shot on goal.
I don't think so either. I think that last one by Alcazar was probably the closest.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm sure that if Jacob would have let it go, it might have made its way into this far or near side post. It wasn't going to make it into the far side.
Right.
He had that covered anyway. That's where he ended up taking control of that save. So O'Fallon still enjoying that 1-0 lead. Collinsville would like to get the tying tally. There's no overtime in JV, so they would just like to get the tally to not take the L. Another throw in by Weber. He's been very busy today. And O'Fallon sends it up the middle, stopped by Gonzalez and then by Borm, and then all the way up to Gavin Null. Null trying to find Chai over there on that far side and led him just a little bit too far. It might have been Chai that had that last opportunity. Hard to tell from the 7 for a 2 when guys are moving like that.
Right.
But I think it was Chai. Just under 11 minutes to go. Second half, winding down. O'Fallon in the lead right now. JV Kahawks, they are 2-1 on the year, so they're trying to pick up win number 3, but they're going to have to tie this game up first before they end up losing game number 2. And a whistle. Bodies fly and fall, and this one's going to go against Collinsville. And the same kid who was hurt earlier, Juan Berrigan, is down on the ground, but he appears okay this go around.
Collinsville just needs to hold the 18-yard box here. Keep that O'Fallon line high, or as high as they can.
Ian Schilling taking this kick.
Give Medina enough room to see the ball, own his box.
Stays low.
Perfect.
And bounces right to Medina.
Perfect.
We saw that all the way.
Mm-hmm.
We're under 10 minutes to go now. Here is Medina. Pops it up. Midfield. Off of Deweese and onto the foot of Benny Peck. Peck gets a couple of defenders split and gives the ball up now to Bauer. Bauer trying to come in on this left side and gets overtaken by Weber, and Bauer can never collect the ball again.
That's great defense by 24 of O'Fallon, just shielding the ball, riding it out of bounds for the goal kick.
Yeah, Schilling and Weber were both there. It made it real tough for Cale Bauer to do anything with it. So Jacob sends it back to play. Colin Ogle uses his head, sends it onto the foot of Null, and Null with a nice feed over here for Hamann. Hamann will try to have to work around Deweese, and we know how that's worked for a couple of other people, and Hammond keeps the ball away for a moment. He has Colin Ogle up on that sideline, and he'll send it back here to the defense. And Gavin Chrisman, and Chrisman couldn't hold the ball in, and now it's out of bounds. And that was a nice try by Calvin Keller to keep that one going for the Panthers, and a good break for Collinsville.
Coach Hayes saying what I was hoping for out of that was Hammond to get a service off into the box.
Keller once again in control of the ball, sends it up to Schildeneck. Schildeneck, the only goal scorer in this game, and that was a penalty kick, by the way. So without that, this game would be scoreless.
Ball's in bounds.
Now, that was close to going out of bounds, man. I could have
agree.
swore I saw that yellow line on this side of the ball. And now another chance by Schildeneck, and he feeds it over on the far side to Tyler Howe, and Howe just buries it over on that far side.
I think the first ball was a shot that was just not on net or not on frame. It had strong pace. And then O'Fallon winger comes back door, buries the ball. 2-0 O'Fallon.
Yeah, sophomore Tyler Howe was in the right place at the right time. I think you're right. I think Schildeneck was going to try to shoot that ball over here into this near post, and he mishit it, and it ends up going all the way out at an angle on the far side. And waiting over there on that left wing was Tyler Howe, and boy, he didn't miss.
Nope.
So Collinsville down 2-0 with 7.5 minutes to go. So if it was a daunting task just to get one goal before time expired, it's an even bigger task to get two.
Struggled all day to have sustained pressure for Collinsville.
Timmermeyer all the way down, and Medina takes care of the bouncing ball. Fallon is got some good pedigree in that town for soccer players, that's for sure.
Oh, yes. Legendary goalkeeper there, Eddie Lahamadou. Went on to play at St. Louis University, I believe.
And whistle as Collinsville will bring in 4 new bodies, make that 5 new bodies. 5 in, 5 out. Looks like
Nathaniel Brown, number 18. Might be for his first action today.
See, that looks like 19. That is 19. And I don't have a 19.
Oh, you're talking about in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Neither do I.
I was looking at 18 on this left flank.
Yeah. Well, 19 is your son's number on the varsity side, so I can't even go with that.
Right.
There is number 19 for a moment with the ball, and now O'Fallon comes up with it. Nice job by Hammond to come in and take that ball away, but now we're going to have a whistle called. And I guess Hammond got a little bit too close for comfort. So DeWeese from midfield will send the ball flying. 5.5 minutes to go here in this second half. K-Hawks are down 2-0. I'm slacking on the scoreboard again.
Somebody's got to get to the ball.
Popped up. That one could be dangerous. Woo, right there in front of that goal line. Comes right to Medina. Medina sends the ball out. Collinsville running out of time. We're coming up on 5 minutes to go. So the K-Hawks not only need one to answer, they need 2 now. Medina will scoop that one up. Sends it over here quickly and trying to find Nathaniel Brown before the Panthers could get there, but DeWeese was all over that. You might have thought he was sleeping back there, and as soon as Medina sent that ball over this direction and Nathaniel Brown, DeWeese was on his horse and got over there quickly. Well, Fallon makes a couple of player changes. DeWeese with the throw-in. He'll just send it back to Schilling, and DeWeese gets the ball back. Sends it over to the far sideline, but that's intercepted by Collinsville, and then a ball sent up again, and chasing it down is going to be Braden Borm. Borm sends it up the sideline to Gonzalez, but Gonzalez off of his, ooh, man, that stung.
Right in the head.
That knocked number 19 back, man. Looked like he just took a punch from Muhammad Ali and went into the ropes. I'm dating myself there, aren't I?
A little bit.
Yeah. saw that Marvin Hagler died the other day. That was, and I tell you what, those middleweight fights back in those days, Hagler and Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. Everybody's like, what is he talking about? I don't recognize any of those names. Another corner kick for O'Fallon. This one comes all the way out this side. What are you talking about, old timer?
I can't give you anything on boxing, Todd. I got nothing.
Yeah, the sweet science was a lot sweeter back in the day. I couldn't tell you who holds what title in any weight class right now in the boxing realm, but back in my day, it was a lot of fun to watch, and they were all on TV for free, of course, so that always helped when you had Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and Ken Norton and all those guys battling each other. Howard Cosell doing the games on free television. Now it'll cost you an arm and a leg just to watch a boxing match between people I don't know. All right, here's Hammond. Let's get back to soccer, shall we? Hammond feeds the ball up to Nathaniel Brown. Brown trying to chase it down. He gets his feet taken out from underneath him on a sliding tackle by Ian Schilling.
All ball.
And Collinsville will have a throw-in from deep down in their offensive zone, and Hammond throws it in, or Hammond gets the throw in, and then Hammond will send one popped up, and if the wind can push it to the opposite direction, that'd be nice, but it doesn't. It does not. And Jacob will get us back to another restart here with 2:20 left to play here in this second half.
Oh, wind is just whipping up in here.
Yeah, you know, if Clay Smith would ever learn how to shut a door. Yeah, that door, it gets open, man. That wind just rushes right in. Here is Collinsville's Brock Lubert on the field for the first time here in this game. Lubert, a sophomore midfielder. Now Collinsville trying to attack once again. Running out of time to get at least one tally on the board. And that one is sent to Jacob, and Jacob in one motion sends it all the way back out to midfield. Off of the header, and then over on the far side. Trying to track that down for Collinsville, and they'll send it up. Gonzalez off of his head, and then he'll have to go back and play some defense and send it out of bounds. He took out a chair in the process.
Gonzalez has played almost the entirety of this game in the backfield, and in the varsity game yesterday, he was playing as a forward.
Yeah. Colin Ogle has played a lot of this game as well here this afternoon. O'Fallon playing keep away now. 1 minute to go here in the second half, so the Kahawks, they need a lot of luck and plenty of it in about 45 seconds or less. Gonzalez in front of his bench with the throw-in. Off of the foot of Lubert, and then back up the line it goes, and rolling into the O'Fallon bench. Down to the final 30 seconds left to play in this one. Looks like the JV Kahawks are going to see their record drop to 2-2 on the year. As O'Fallon works the ball up into the offensive zone once again. Jack Sipple sends it up, and Medina
that should do it.
Takes care of it, and he sets it down, and we'll send it back to midfield with under 10 seconds to go, and that will, as my esteemed colleague said, just about do it. So Kahawks lose by a score of 2-0, and we're going to shut everything down and fire everything back up for the varsity game. So you have to re-log in to the Kahawk Sports Network, and we'll be back with you, excuse me, in just a little while on the Kahawk Sports Network.